Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Mackenzie. If you're new here, I'm excited to have you. Today's video is going to be 10 things that I wish I knew before I started college. And I want to talk about things like friends, school, like studying, extracurricular stuff. I'm sorry. And so I made a list on my phone of 10 things I wish I knew before college that I wanted to go ahead and share with you guys. Things that I think are very valuable, and I think that if I would have known these things like beforehand and actually like taken them to heart, I would have been a little bit more successful in my first few weeks of college. So it's currently really late at night. I have a few exams in the morning, and I'm filming on my iPad. I moved my room downstairs to my basement because we were trying to make more room upstairs for some just different reasons. And so I decided that I wanted the basement, and it's really nice because it's like my own dorm room. It is an unfinished basement, so I'm planning on painting that wall back there. That's why it looks like that. So do not be alarmed. It will get finished. But I just wanted to hop in and share with you guys 10 things I wish I knew before college. So number 1 is do not stress about friends. Don't stress about making friends. Don't stress about like not having friends. Because when I first came to this particular college, I had left all of my friends behind at my high school, and like those were like my brothers and sisters. Like they were like my best friends. We did everything together. They were my people. And up until that point in my life, I really didn't have like a solid group of friends. And then for about 5 years, I was a part of this like group of kids who genuinely loved each other and loved God. We pushed each other in the right direction towards Christ. So it was really, really hard to leave them. And I remember just crying and crying and crying about it. But I also felt like God was leading me to go to MNU to study worship arts. So I went and I decided just to obey God. But it was really hard because I was scared about friends. And within the first like 2 weeks, I just remember like coming home every day and being like, I don't have any friends there. I knew a few people, but like that was it. They were mainly just acquaintances. But slowly I started to make more friends, and they're like genuine, real friends that I do stuff with, I go places with, I hang out with, we have real conversations with one another, and that's just been such a relief and such an encouragement. And it isn't because I had to work really, really hard at making friends. They just happened. Friendships in college happen. Don't stress about making friends or the fact that you may not have any friends when you first go in, because you will make friends. And it's really not as hard as I thought, or as a lot of people think, actually. So definitely do not stress about making friends or having many friends when you first go into college. Number 2, this one's kind of obvious, but college is harder than high school. Yeah, so fun story. I grew up being homeschooled, but I also went to a co-op, and then I also went to a community college that was by us. And I always got A's in my classes. B's I just didn't get because I really loved school, and that's like what I spend all of my waking hours on. So I never really had a trouble with any of my grades because I just got A's because I loved it, and school kind of comes really naturally to me, and I just love learning. It was never because like my mom like pushed me to get good grades. Like she likes when I get good grades, but like I get good grades for myself because I push myself to do that. But college is harder than high school, and I know a lot of you guys watching this are probably like, well, duh, Mackenzie, it's college. Yeah. Well, I seriously went in thinking, oh, I've gotten all A's my entire life. I'm going to get all A's in college. And that's not necessarily how it works, you guys. So I love school. I would still say that I'm very good in college, and I'm very good at school. But the classes that you're going to be taking in college, especially if you're jumping into classes that were like for your major, like my major right now is music and worship arts. It's music with an emphasis on worship arts. So it's all music stuff. And I've never had like really any music in my life except for singing and like in choirs and stuff. And so I kind of just jumped in, and I'm not doing any gen ed classes right now. And they're a lot harder than I thought they would be. So just be prepared that maybe you might get a B in a class. Just work your hardest, do your best, study as much as you can, and you'll get the grade that you work for. I'm currently not getting all A's. that's okay. I'm still coming to terms with it, but you have to understand that college is harder than high school, and you have to be okay with the fact that you may not be getting all A's. But that's okay because you're still working for your grade, and as long as you are working and understanding the material, that is all that matters, not the letter on your transcript. So, number 3, be open to new things and ideas. So, one of the biggest regrets I have about what I did and my mindset that I had was I had the mindset of what I believe is the only true thing, like there's nothing else, no way to expand what I believe, everything I believe is correct and everything that everybody else believes is incorrect. So I am a Baptist, Southern Baptist, born and raised, go to a Baptist church now, kind of what they would call a front row Baptist, if any of you guys know what that means. I love church, I love Jesus, and I love God, and that's my biggest passion in life. But I'm going to a Nazarene school. So I went to this school thinking that I would just kind of have to block out anything they said related to faith, anything at all. Because I was like, well, no, that's not what denomination I am. Like, they're just going to be, like, teaching me all this bad stuff, blah, 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 so I'm not going to listen to anything they're saying. But what I've learned is that God did not intend for us to have different denominations. God intended us to follow after Him. And yeah, there are some different interpretations of the Bible, but if you believe that Jesus died on the cross for you, He is the Son of God and died on the cross for you, to save you from your sins, that's what salvation is. So, whether or not you get into the really nitty-gritty stuff, like, that's not necessarily a salvation issue, whereas if you believe that Jesus Christ died on the cross and rose again 3 days later, He is the Messiah and He's coming back again, that's really what should matter. And I got a lot of people just telling me that I shouldn't go to this school because they were different denomination, but what I realized is, like, I went in with such, like, a closed mind of, like, nothing they said would be true. I can't listen to anything, and there's a lot of stuff that, like, maybe they'll teach that I don't necessarily agree with, but that's okay because I could be going to a Baptist school and not necessarily agree with everything they say. So I think it's important to go in with an open mind, whether you're going to a Christian school or not. Obviously, hold firm to your convictions and to your beliefs, but also be willing to learn. You're there to learn, and whether it's faith-related or not, it can be just in academics, it can be in extracurricular stuff. Be willing to learn. Be willing to be open-minded and be willing to just learn stuff, but then discover it for yourself also. So my next one would be 4. No one cares what you look like in college. So in high school, I always really cared about what I looked like, so, like, I'd get up every morning, and I would, like, do my makeup and do my hair, and I'd spend so much time, and I'd look cute in my outfits, and get my cute shoes on, and spray myself with perfume, and it's like, when you have 8 a.m. classes in college, yeah, that's not happening. And I remember the first 2 times I had to go to class with, like, out makeup on, and my hair kind of looked a little bit crazy. I freaked out. I was like, oh my gosh, like, all these people are gonna hate me, but, like, nobody cares because none of them look the best either because they're at that 8 a.m. class too. And quite honestly, I don't mean to say this in a mean way, but a lot of the girls, and guys too, that show up to 8 a.m. classes with their full face of makeup on, curly hair, dresses, and heels, like, those girls are probably not getting the best grades because they're focused more on their appearance than they are on their grades. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm at college to get grades, to get good grades, and to learn, not necessarily to flirt with boys or to look good. So no one cares what you look like. People are going to be your friend for who you are, not for what you look like. And if they are your friend for what you look like, they're not your friend in the first place. So, number 5, meet with your professors weekly or daily. This is something I wish I knew before college, and I learned now, and I'm doing it now. But if you're signing up for a class and enrolling in a class that, like, you have never taken before, you don't know anything about, meet with your professors daily or bi-daily. I am in Music Theory 1, and I've never had a day of theory in my life before, so it's literally killing me. I'm dying in that class, and I am having to go to my professor for that almost every day with questions, with, hey, I don't understand this, how can you help me with this, or could you re-explain this to me, or could we go over this one problem on the homework? And 9 times out of 10, your professor is going to say, yes, I would love to help you with that, let's set up a time. Meet with your professors, and even if you don't think you're struggling in a class, meet with them maybe once a week or once every other week just to say, hey, how can I improve in your class right now? Or, hey, maybe I just didn't get this one thing. Could we just go over that? Or what's the best way that you think I could succeed in your class? Just doing that, and it also shows your professors that like you're interested in their class, and it just gives you a better chance of not only understanding the material, but like getting a better grade, because chances are if they like you and they know you want a good grade in their class and they know that you're actually trying, they're going to give you a better grade than if they thought you weren't. Number 6, don't be afraid to embarrass yourself. Like, I mean this by like sometimes, so in the beginning of my classes, the first few weeks, I would just sit in class and I wouldn't understand a thing that was being said, but I wouldn't ask any questions because I didn't want to embarrass myself by feeling like, oh my gosh, I just asked a dumb question, like, and have everybody laugh at me. But here's the thing, you guys. Everybody's learning at the same speed you're learning at, and they all have the same questions. And a lot of them are feeling the same thing of, oh, I don't want to ask that question because I don't want to embarrass myself. But, like, once people start asking questions, you realize that everybody has questions. So don't be afraid to ask questions and to maybe embarrass yourself because, honestly, again, you're there to learn, and if people don't want to be your friend, then they don't want to be your friend. But, like, oh well, at least you're learning the material. Number 7, be bold and don't be afraid to stand up for who you are and what you believe. I know in a lot of colleges, especially colleges that aren't Christian, they'll shove beliefs down your throat that you don't agree with. Don't be afraid to say no. Don't be afraid to stand up for what you do believe in, and don't be afraid to talk about your beliefs. Luckily, I go to a Christian school, but like I've said, there are some things that I don't agree with. Just from studying the Bible that I don't agree with, that my school necessarily believes in, or that the professors I take from necessarily believe in, but that's okay. And none of them have shoved it down my throat, but if they were, I would just say, hey, I don't believe that. Don't be afraid to be you. Just believe what you believe and don't stray away from that. I mean, if you are at college and you have this set of beliefs and then you start studying it more and more and you just realize that there's so many flaws in what you believe, that's different, but like, don't let someone else make you not believe in what you believe. And that's why I think it's so important to like be firm in your faith as a Christian before you go to college. Because if you are not, you're going to get knocked down so quickly. You're going to get knocked off of your faith, and you need to be on a solid, firm foundation before you go to college, or else you will, even if you're at a Christian school, stray away from God really, really fastly. So, number 8, do as much extracurricular activities as you can. So currently I'm leading a small group. It actually starts this Thursday. Get involved in, like, if your college has events, go to them. If your college has games, go to them. Obviously you want to have time to study and to learn, but you also, if you want to make friends and get to know the campus and get to know the other people just in your school and really build a community in the place that you're going to be living in for the next 4 years, go to the extracurricular activities. Don't put those over your studying time, though. You definitely need to study, but make sure you go to some extracurricular activities. Maybe it's just once a week, but do something to get you out of your dorm. It also will help with like homesickness, just being with other people. So, number 9, take easy and effective notes. I wish I knew this before college, so I'm a big note taker. But when I take notes, I take them really like beautifully, and I write everything out in cursive and like highlight everything, color code everything, and that got to be so much work. When a professor is just talking a mile an hour, that's really hard to follow along. It's really hard to get everything written down, and it's really busy when you go back and look at your notes. Like, those notes are beautiful and they look great, but I've been trying to simplify my note taking style just a little bit so that I can go back and read it easier. That way it's easier to take in class. And if I want to jazz it up after class, that's fine. But like while you're in class, take easy notes. Just write down everything you can, every single thing that the teacher says, even if you think it's never going to come up, because I guarantee you it most of the time will. If the teacher's saying it, be taking notes on it because it's important. So, number 10, this is my last one. Be you. Guys, don't go to college and be someone else. Don't go to college and be someone else to try to fit in with a different crowd. Don't go to college to change yourself. Go to college to be you and to learn more about what you want to learn about. Be yourself. Love yourself. And you're going to find the right group of people. I promise you, I promise you, I promise you. You will be so much happier if you are you in college and not trying to fake who you are and not trying to be someone else, because that's just going to bite you in the butt, guys. So, anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope maybe it was helpful. This is just what I have learned and kind of what I'm still learning and still applying to my life as I'm in college. I'm only in freshman year, first semester, but I felt like these were things that I wanted to share with you guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe. And also, make sure to comment down below with something that you want to know about college, something you want to ask me, or maybe a tip that you have for me that maybe I didn't mention. I would love to hear your thoughts and ideas and questions. Make sure to be subscribed so that you guys can watch the next video that I post. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you guys later. Bye!